Homeowners insurance has been a real pain point, not just for those of you looking to purchase a house, but also for Florida homeowners, such as myself, because the premiums have gone up so much over a short period of time. We're going to be speaking to Jennifer Osiwala, a trusted home insurance agent. Jennifer actually assisted me with my own homeowners insurance.
Why are home insurance rates so high? Mine have doubled over 2 years.
And mine have as well. It is the hot topic in Florida right now. A lot of people don't realize that we share insurance claims with your neighbor, with the Panhandle, with Miami. So if Miami has a hurricane come through, we're going to, of course, share in some of the claims that they put in, and also in the Panhandle. So I know in our area, Sarasota area, we don't get hit with hurricanes all that much. I hear it all the time. We never have hurricanes. I've never had a claim. Why is my insurance doubling? And that is one of the reasons, because we share in the claims of what goes on in the state of Florida. We are the #1 state for fraud. We have a huge fraud claims in Florida, which have caused our rates to increase. The last 3 or 4 years, the Panhandle has just gotten hit with storm after storm, fraud being the #1, the roof claims that we're dealing with right now. There were roofers that were going around telling people like, hey, we can put a new roof on your house and we'll have insurance pay for it. They were using like a previous storm, and even though maybe a shingle or two was taken off of the roof, they're getting whole roofs replaced.
Is there any recommendations you have to current homeowners in order to help them reduce the insurance rate? Is there anything we can do?
There are some things you can do. Of course, wind mitigation is the best thing you can do. It's costly if you want to put all hurricane windows and doors on your house. And it has to be every single opening, every single door, even that little side garage door that you have has to be hurricane proof to get the discounts. Any type of clips or straps of how your roof is attached in the attic, those are going to give you discounts. Also, the size of the nails that they use to put the roofs on, that gives you a discount as well. So you'll want to get a wind mitigation inspection completed. The reports last for up to 5 years. So once you get it done, you can use it for another 5 years. And that will provide your discounts that we can submit to the carrier so we can make sure you can get those discounts. Another one is second water resistance, and that provides a huge discount. I even have some carriers that will not even write now if you don't have second water resistance. So if you're looking to purchase a new home, if you can kind of know what it looks like in the roof, it's usually the line around the top that helps with drainage. That provides a nice little discount.
It's going to be much harder to get a home insurance on a house that has a roof that's over 15 years old. Can you really give us all the details? Because that's been somewhat confusing, not just to buyers, but also to agents, because it seems like it's constantly changing.
It is constantly changing. We get memos weekly, and we really have to stay on our toes to stay on top of all the underwriting guidelines. Some carriers are saying they don't want shingle roofs over 10 years now, so it's not even the 15. Shingle roofs used to be 20, 25 years. We do have carriers that will take the older roofs. So it's not like if it's a 16-year-old roof, like, oh, I'm not going to find insurance. It's not like that at all. You're going to pay a little bit higher premium, or a lot of the carriers are excluding the roof. They'll be like, we'll give you coverage on the home, but the roof is excluded, or they'll do an actual cash value of the roof. For tile roofs, they're really not liking over the 25-year marker on the tile roofs. I do have some carriers that are like, nope, not over 20. So again, it just depends on the carriers. They each have different underwriting guidelines.
So beyond the roof, are there any other elements of the house that we need to be aware of?
Water heaters, they don't like over 15 years. So if it's a little bit of an older water heater, they do want those replaced. If it's older, they want usually a picture of it. We have to submit that into underwriting and get it approved before binding. Another thing that lately the underwriters have been coming back with us on is trees around the home. If there's any kind of tree that is hanging over the roof or over the house, they want them trimmed back. They don't want any kind of bushes or anything touching the homes. And I run into that pretty much daily, where I have to have people trim the trees around their houses. or underwriting is going to cancel them. Plumbing is another. Have hard corrosive water here in Florida, so the plumbing tends to be a huge claim here in Florida. That's one of the number one claims that get put into on homes. They do like plumbing. If it's a house over 40 years old, they're going to put limited water coverage. Some of the homes only have to be 35 or 30 years old. Also, the water backup, which is if you have a backup in with the toilet, they're starting to exclude that, and it's an endorsement we have to add back on. And that usually is capped at about $5,000. Carriers do not like the cloth wiring. In the electrical panel, things are double tapped. Those are things that would need to be fixed before you would purchase the home or before we could at least put insurance on it.
Would you suggest that the best way to proceed if a house is somewhat questionable when it comes to the insurability of the house, to contact you first before even going to the offering stage?
Absolutely, because that just gives you an idea. I mean, because if it's being escrowed, it's going to affect your monthly payments. And you don't want to get into a house that all of a sudden you can't afford it because the insurance and the mortgage rate is just above your budget. Give us a call. We would be happy to run a quote for you or just even give you a ballpark idea.
All right, so let's change the conversation a little bit and talk about flood insurance. What zone would be considered a flood zone, and how does that impact the home insurance cost?
I hear that they're rezoning things right now here in Florida. If you are in, let's say, an X zone, that is the preferred rating zone, and you're going to get the FEMA best rates on that, just depending on what coverages you want on the home. Now, if you're in an A zone, a V zone, or a B zone, and you have any type of mortgage, they're going to require flood coverage. So you have to have it to get a mortgage. I do have some people that don't have a mortgage, so they don't carry the flood. They're self-insuring on that. So you don't have to carry it if there's no mortgage. But if there is a bank involved, they will require that flood coverage. When you are in those zones, you are going to be rated higher. We have multiple carriers to quote flood through. So it's very competitive now. It's not that you just have to go through FEMA. We have surplus lines to quote it through. We can get competitive rates.
Just directionally speaking, how much can it increase the home insurance if you're in a flood zone? Say you're in AE.
If you're in AE, I have seen, again, it depends on the home. Gosh, I've even seen flood more expensive than the home insurance rates. If you're out on one of the islands, I have actually seen that the flood be more expensive than homeowners. So if that gives you an idea, there's just so many variables involved when the rate comes in.
Where do you believe home insurance is going to be headed into 2023? Do you actually believe that the prices are going to come down, or are they going to continue to double every 2 years? And what's the government doing about all of this?
You know, I don't have a crystal ball to look at, but as long as we have a minimal hurricane season, knock on wood, you know, we got a few months left here.
Okay,
I don't see home rates going down, but they could probably level out. Now, the state is looking at doing some things. They've already put some laws into place with the roofs. There's a roofing schedule and payout schedule that the carriers have to work by now. Today, I even just got some notices that carriers are opening back up and starting to write again. So that's a good thing. They're using the roofing schedule for that. As long as we can get some of those guidelines put into place, if it's a problem with the roofs, there needs to be more stringent approvals before you pay out on the claim. And, you know, and it's on the carrier side as well. There's a lot of different things that need to happen for the rates to start to go down. But as long as we can keep the hurricanes away this year, I see that it should be leveling out next year. Okay. If we have a bad storm year, again, we all pay into the cost of insurance for everyone. So we will see some increases.
Do me a favor, if this video was insightful to you, please like it. It does help out the channel. Also, leave a note in the comment section below if you have any thoughts or questions in regards to this video. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I always appreciate when you do. Take care.